Wanna see a dead body with a shotty, call a shot. Double barrel sword off, come and see me on the block.
What is going on, everybody? It's Slashback Saturday, or at least it will be by the time you see this. Today's topic is cover art slashers. And what it is a slasher movie that brought you in just by the cover art. You know, whether it be at the store or at the video rental place or whatever when you were a kid. And that's where I get my story from. As a kid, but even more as a teenager, I loved going to the video rental store. Now, where I lived in a place called Clovis, New Mexico, I don't remember if we had a Blockbuster. I think we may have, but I don't remember. But I do know that we had two local video rental places called Silver Screen Video. And one was in a little teeny tiny building, and I do remember they had a huge porn section. The other one was in a very large building that used to be a waterbed store, and it was this huge mega store for renting videos and video games, and you could buy videos there as well, and it was just awesome. I fucking loved it. Well, there was two videos that I would rent repeatedly when I was a kid, aside from, you know, Freddy Krueger's and things like that, because those were always on constant rotation for me for rentals as well. But the two movies were Leprechaun, which I already reviewed, and this film. So this is going to be a review of the 1997 supernatural slasher film, Wishmaster. I mean, just check out this cover art. Tell me it's not fucking amazing and just makes you want to pick this up off the shelf. It's simplistic and frightening all at the same time. It's an absolutely great piece of cover art. Directed by Robert Kurtzman, who's directed a few films, but is mostly known for doing special effects and special effect makeup on hundreds of films. Really good special effect guy. Does really good on special effects makeup. He's also been a cinematographer and a bunch of other things. But he also did the makeup on this one, and I think it's awesome. Starring Tammy Lauren as Alexandra, our main character. A lot of them call her Alex. And starring Andrew Devov as the Djinn, or Genie. Robert Englund is also in the movie, playing Professor Raymond Beaumont. Now, this film was produced by Wes Craven, and in my opinion, it does have a Wes Craven feel to it. I'm going to get into that in the pros, so hold on to your shorts, we will get there. Before we get to all that, there are so many cameos in this movie I've got to mention. And I'm not even going to mention all of them. I couldn't mention them all or remember them all. But we have Ted Raimi, Vern Troyer, Tony Todd, Angus Scrimm, who people may remember as the tall man from Phantasm, Kane Hodder, and Robert Kurtzman himself has a small cameo in the film. A Djinn, or Genie, trapped well over 2,000 years ago into a small opal stone, has been recently freed and is going on a killing spree using people's wishes to kill them in gruesome and awesome ways. If he can get the person who is responsible for his freedom to make 3 wishes, he can open a gate between heaven, hell, and the earth. I love the line where he says, "Can you imagine what it's like to have unlimited power, but to be constrained by other people's wishes?" Or something like that. Tells it to Kane Hodder. Really good line. The music in this film may sound familiar. It's done by Henry Manfredini, who did almost all of the Friday the 13th films. So guys, we're going to get into pros and cons, and right away I just have to tell you, this is one of my favorite horror films. I love this movie, and I have no cons for it. And going back and rewatching it yesterday, I repeat that I have no cons. I tried to find something that I didn't like about this movie. I tried to find some bad acting or some bad effects or something that I just did not like, and I couldn't do it. I like everything about this film. Getting into pros, I love the effects. I love both the practical effects, I love the special CGI effects, I love it all. I think it all looks extremely good, and for the late 90s, the CGI is on point. I love the Djinn makeup and his look. He is scary as fuck. And I love, like, the horns that move and all of that. It's just so cool. He looks so evil. He looks like Satan himself should look. gore effects, guys. Practical gore effects. All awesome. All great. It looks so amazing. My favorite kill... You know what? We're not going to get there yet. You got to wait for that one. Now, some people will say, oh, are you sure this is a slasher? It's kind of a supernatural horror film. Yes, it is a slasher. It's not a slasher where he uses knives and axes against a victim, but he uses their dreams, and it comes with the most unique kills I've practically ever seen in a horror movie. There is some awesome, unique stuff in this. The kills are amazing. Some of them are extremely gory, some of them have no gore at all, but they're all very cool. I love the gore effects, guys. There's even some great gore effects where somebody's already dead or is not being killed, and he's, you know, mutilating their bodies to get what he needs. He takes a face off a dead body to put on his own, and that's what makes him look like Andrew DeVove. The kills are so unique. We have one kill where the person is turned into a mannequin. No blood, no nothing. Right? But they're still alive, and you can tell they're still alive. And it's not until he takes their soul that you can see in their eyes that they die. And it's so creepy. There's a great kill where he causes the person's skeleton to literally burst out of the skin, and it's just so awesome, guys. It's so awesome. There's a great decapitation scene where piano wire wraps around and around and around this guy's face and head, and it's cutting into him, and it takes his head right off. Just some awesome kills. There's a kill where a guy dies of gruesome, gross-looking cancer. I mean, he wishes cancer upon the guy. It's so cool. I love Andrew DeVove in this film. He is deliciously evil, guys. I'm telling you. There's something so evil looking about this dude. His face is evil looking. His smile, his little smirk is evil looking. His voice is definitely evil sounding. And he just does such a good job bringing this character to life. I fucking love it. And going into that, I love the dialogue of this film, especially the dialogue for the Jinn. The delivery that Andrew DeVove gives the lines is amazing. It's right up there with Tony Todd and Robert Englund. I really, even though this movie did get 4 films, this franchise did get 4 films, I'm very surprised that the Wishmaster is not as venerated as those two. I think that it's just such an amazing character who's done so well by a great actor.
I want you to destroy yourself. Blow your brains out. Right now.
Very well. That which is eternal cannot die. But if it's any consolation, sweet Alex, that hurt like hell.
I love the big party sequence at the end, and I like to call it the death party. All these people are at this party, and the owner of the house, Robert Englund, says that he wants to have a party like the one that the Jinn is describing to him. A party that will be remembered for centuries. And he's like, yeah, I want that party. And the Jinn is like, as you wish. And everybody just starts dying all different ways. He brings statues to life to chop people up. Like I said, the piano wire thing, the skeleton out of the skin thing. There's just, actually, that was in the beginning. I'm sorry, that was at the party in the beginning. There's just so much cool deaths in this. Bodies are just piling up everywhere. This guy has a huge body count in this movie. And the final pro I want to talk about, guys, is the atmosphere of this film. As I said, you can definitely tell that Wes Craven had a hand in this movie. It feels to me like the original A Nightmare on Elm Street. And it feels very dark and very creepy and very gothic. And I love the atmosphere. It's very, very atmospheric. It literally does feel like A Nightmare on Elm Street. And that film feels like Candyman. Just so dark and atmospheric. And it's not surprising that one of the writers is one of the writers from Hellraiser movies, the original Hellraiser films. And I can see that work in there. I can also feel that Clive Barker influence on this film and the Wes Craven influence, and it's just so good, man. This is such an awesome film. I don't know why this movie does not get bigger ups. Guys, with that being said, I'm going to tell you what my favorite kill is, and that is the skeleton ripping itself free of the body. It's gory, it's brutal, and it's done with practical effects that look amazing. I fucking loved it. So guys, if you have not watched Wishmaster, I definitely recommend you going and checking it out, and I really hope you enjoy it as much as I have all these years. You know, going back and forth to the rental store, I don't know why it never occurred to me to buy this movie, or to buy a lot of the movies that I liked back then. For some reason in the 90s, we were very happy with renting films. And I don't know if it's because it was an experience, if it was... There is something, thinking back on it, I have a fondness for walking into rental stores. They had a smell about them, they had an atmosphere about them that was just fun. It really was, it was awesome. Especially the old style ones where they would have like the popcorn machines up front and the bags of cotton candy and all the stuff you could buy to go along with your movies. And just like the movie theater, most of it was pretty overpriced, so we would go to the store later and buy it somewhere else. But it really was a treat. It was a treat for us to go to the rental store on the weekends or whenever we got to go, you know. And every other time I rented horror movies, I guarantee you this was in my basket every other time. You know, I would be like, no, I rented it last time, but then I would get it the next time. You know, and it was all based off that first rental, off the cover art. I fucking love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Check out everybody doing Slashback Saturday. And of course, check out Joe the HORRORman, who created the Slashback Saturday Challenge. Awesome dude, and one of my best friends. This is Bronco Joe saying, peace.
Yeah. It's me. Ay, I've been trying to tell you what's up. Man, I got a killer hustle, ain't no holding this up. I was dealt a bad hand, but I ain't folding it up. I got purple in the swisher, man, I'm rolling it up. Fuck the world on some pop shit, holding my nuts. I got heat